What it do, YouTube? It's your boy Campeso checking in with another video. Today we got the top 10 Marvel fights. I personally wanted to get into this one because I love Marvel and everything dealing with Marvel, and I feel like it's a lot of fights that didn't get its just dues or get talked about quite enough. So we're gonna get straight into the video. Like, comment, subscribe, you know what I'm saying, hit the bell button, do whatever y'all gotta do. But other than that, we're finna get right into the video. And FYI, I am a huge Marvel fan, but we finna get straight into the video.
If you were good enough, maybe Tony would still be alive.
Fights are the lifeblood of Marvel movies. After all, what are superheroes but fighting machines? Not a celebration of is elsewhere in the story. Within a film's plot, fights serve multiple purposes that go beyond delivering a good overcomes evil outcome. For instance, how many old rivalries are settled and new alliances formed with a good old-fashioned rumble? So with that said, the TV region welcomes you to the brilliance and bombast of this unique fight club. So get your guard up, because here are the top 10 most impactful Marvel movie fights.
I see you.
This is one of the fights I feel like didn't get its just dues, because I feel like this was one of the most accurate portrayal of how Spider-Man would fight. Like, not taking any shots at any of the old Spider-Man movies, but I feel like this is one of the most slept on fight scenes in Marvel. I'm happy this one getting. I mean, it probably should be higher, but I'm happy it's getting its just dues though.
Edith, give me some protection. Copy.
First up, it's your friendly neighborhood web slinger. Spider-Man's takedown of Quentin Beck, aka Mysterio, in Spider-Man Far From Home is one of those big budget visual effects spectacles we mentioned earlier. London's Tower Bridge is, for lack of a better word, a towering presence all through this final battle between Peter Parker and the Master of Illusions. The action follows Spider-Man as he flies off a plane, fights his way through a giant smoke monster, and destroys a swarm of combat drones while dodging their flamethrowers with his acrobatics. Other than being weaponized, these Stark Industries produced drones have another function. They create illusions on a massive scale through advanced holographic projections. In the London encounter,
he finally got good at the Peter Tingle.
They're used by Mysterio to create his grandest illusion yet. Unfortunately for him though, Parker sees through it all and Mysterio's left to watch his plan crumble like his illusions. Apart from being the final confrontation between hero and villain, this fight's important because it shows Peter Parker shed his inhibitions, finally embrace others' expectation of him, notably his mentor Tony Stark, and get comfortable in his superhero skin, or his new custom designed Spidey suit to be more precise.
And in the movie theater, I did not see that one coming. I really thought he was handing the glasses over, but they showed the Peter Tingle going crazy. Thor is the strongest Avenger. Just in case, you know what I'm saying, we both know, so we all know Thor is the strongest Avenger. At this point in time. Cause one ain't got enough battle sense in this stage of the Marvel universe. Wanda didn't have enough battle sense, but now, of course, she mollow up in Thor. I think. Yeah, I think she. Yeah, I don't know if we'll see that. I don't know.
Our next entry hits harder than a sledgehammer. Thor Ragnarok serves up a mouth-watering feast for fans, an arena fight between two of the most physically strong Avengers. After being stranded, captured, and enslaved on planet Sakaar, Thor's compelled by the obedience disc to fight for the Grandmaster's pleasure. His opponent is a Hulk completely disconnected from his Bruce Banner persona and now working as the Grandmaster's champion. The God of Thunder is surprised and pleased to reunite with his old buddy from work, but his friendly banter is rudely cut short by his fellow opponent, who declares there's no Banner, only Hulk. What follows is a rollicking Gladiator meets WWE SmackDown with the Son of Odin and the big green guy duking it out monster style. This fight's a departure from the customary Marvel clash high on heroics and on overall serious.
And then think about it, this was a Thor that didn't even have his powers fully unlocked. He was still super dependent on his hammer. So this Thor was even before fully unlocked Thor. So after, Thor is definitely stronger than
tone, but
he's definitely physically stronger. He might not be physically stronger than Hulk, but he's definitely a more capable, more stronger fighter, of course. Then he 1,500 years old too, so.
Epic all the same and entertaining as hell.
Okay, he might be stronger too. Let's get it. First of all, okay, we doing Marvel as a collective. I thought we was talking about Marvel, the MCU. I ain't know we was doing Marvel. But Logan's in my top 5 Marvel movies of all time. So of course this fight had to be in there because it showed a young Logan versus an old Logan. He looks so old and defeated.
At number 8 we have Wolverine versus X-24 from Logan. Like the film itself, this final fight in the forest is as raw and as real as it gets. There's nothing the slightest bit comic book about it, with the exception of the adamantium claws perhaps. Australian star Hugh Jackman portrays both the X-Man in retirement and his clone, looking a generation apart in his dual role. Logan is greyer, slower, and yet still a man on a mission. X-24 is younger, faster, stronger, more brutal, and yet still just a mirror image. When they come together, it's like watching two feral animals fight to the death. Steel strikes steel and flesh is ripped from bone in what counts as one of the most bloody fights in the Marvel Universe. It's made all the more macabre by the sight of a young girl repeatedly stabbing X-24 in a desperate attempt to help her savior. Wolverine's swan song remains to this day a devastating yet altogether satisfying memory for his fans.
Any last words?
This fight does not deserve to be on top 10 at all. No, not even one bit. That X-Men fight, not the X-Men, but the Wolverine fight versus Wolverine, that was a real good fight, like hand to hand wise. If Black Panther better have, let me see, that Black Panther and Killmonger fight better be top 5. Like when they both didn't have no power. This fight was so forgettable, so I don't understand how it's top 10 because it's forgettable.
Hulk makes his second appearance on this list, and this time he's picking on someone his own size. His brawl against the aptly named Abomination from 2008's The Incredible Hulk, back when Edward Norton and not Mark Ruffalo played the scientist with a volatile alter ego, makes the cut at number 7. This battle of the giants on a busy Harlem street is all about brute force and destructive power as they crack open roads and reduce buildings to rubble in seconds. The action cranks up with the rampaging adversaries trading body blows on the ground before getting airborne and dangling from a helicopter. In a way, this is the superhero equivalent of a Godzilla versus King Kong clash. At one point, Abomination seems to have the upper hand and cockily asks his opponent if he has any last words. Hulk smash is all he gets before he's knocked down to earth by a ton of metal. The Duel of Harlem ends with the angry one choking his mortal enemy unconscious. Well, with Hulk, you know it's always going to be less words and more rage.
Not to fuck with this top 10. I'm thinking they doing fan service top 10s because no.
At number 6, we have Spidey making his second save of the day. Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker faces double trouble in the form of an 8-limbed villain and a runaway train in 2004's Spider-Man 2. And it's not the best time for him, seeing as he's overwhelmed by his responsibilities as a superhero and suffering from stress-induced performance issues. As they fight atop the packed subway train, Parker is no match for Dr. Octopus and his thrashing mechanical limbs at first. But when the wall crawler catches up and gains the upper hand, his opponent abruptly quits the fight, leaving him with a speeding train hurtling towards a dead end with no brakes. This train fight is hailed as one of the best action scenes in superhero movies, even if Spider-Man...
That's the point. It's not an action scene. We said fights. We're speaking about fights. That's why that should not be on.
And 2 hit theaters well before Marvel's Golden Rush era. Parker and Doc Ock's exchanges on the side of the train stand out in particular, but what makes the scene so special is that it shows its hero as a vulnerable young man who doesn't always have...
We don't care about none of that. We talking about fights. I don't care about him being vulnerable, honestly. We talking about put the things up. We finna duke it out. You know what I'm saying?
Have a ready solution at the tip of his webbed wrist. Seeing him struggle and fail and struggle again to stop the train and save its occupants to the extent of blowing his mask and his cover makes us applaud him all the more.
Yeah, I mean, if we was doing like, we was talking about emotional scenes, That'd have been top. Oh yeah, for sure this one. Yeah. Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep,
Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
Yeah. For sure.
Big green dude meets guy in big red armored suit at number 5. The clash between Hulk and Iron Man in his largest suit, the Hulkbuster, was the most anticipated moment in Avengers Age of Ultron. It was the key point in Marvel's marketing strategy for this film, with the trailer teasing the big confrontation. So, to the delight of the fans, when the film hit screens in 2015, the big dust-up didn't disappoint. The prelude to the fight goes a little bit like this, with Bruce Banner turning against the Avengers as a result of Loki's evil plans and Scarlet Witch.
Okay, I was about to say, was that Loki playing? No, that was Ultron playing. The fuck is he talking about? That was Ultron because they was doing the experiment. What the fuck is he talking about?
Which is mind messing. It's up to Tony Stark to suit up in his largest and most formidable.
Y'all caught it? That was definitely. It definitely was about. It was Age of Ultron. That was definitely Age of Ultron for sure, and that was after he got mind control. Right after who was that? Ultron and everybody got to fighting. Yeah, and they mind controlled him. And Tony had got the vision. Yeah. They clearly don't know what they're talking about.
Armor and stop his out of
Definitely was a great fight though, for sure.
control allies rampage. Cars get smashed like tin cans, an elevator full of people hangs by a thread.
Yeah.
Literally, robotic arms fly off and new ones reattach, and a fist bump sends a window-shattering shockwave in this battle of the heavyweights. Stark switches from friendly therapy talk to repeatedly punching his friend turned momentary rival in the face, but it has no effect on the Mad One.
Because the only way to get him to revert back to Bruce is to knock him unconscious. The favorite part of this scene when Tony was like, "You throw another moon at me, I'm gonna be pissed." That was the funniest part.
Our next pick is a one versus all battle royale. When Thanos takes on the Avengers in Infinity War, a one-sided fight ensues with the combined strength of Earth's mightiest proving to be no match for the Mad Titan. Thanos swats aside every Avenger who steps up to fight him as if he was just swatting flies. Iron Man, Hulk, Black Widow, Black Panther, no one manages to even stop his stride, which makes it more like nothing short of a miracle when Captain America holds him back for the briefest moment. The fact that the Avengers are forced to make a heartbreaking sacrifice.
Was we all pissed that they nerfed Vision as soon as the movie started? I think we all was pissed when it happened. I feel like Vision was so underused in MCU because even in What If, he just split him down to half. They should have put up a way better fight, but they ain't really go into details on the fight on Titan. The Avengers versus, well, they weren't even the Avengers because it was the Guardians of the Galaxy too. But that fight on Titan was definitely a top 5 fight for sure.
Killing their ally Vision, who holds the mic.
They kind of bunched the whole Infinity War fights into that. I don't like that. We talking about singular fights, but I guess.
Stone that Thanos is after says something of the Purple Giant's threat level. He's an unstoppable force, and
I know number 1 better be that Winter Soldier fight versus Captain America. I know that better be number 1.
there isn't a moment in this battle when the Avengers and the audience aren't aware of this unalterable fact.
Ooh.
At number 3, it's Steve versus Bucky in Captain America, the Winter Soldier, which, 6 years on, remains the MCU sequel to beat. This 2014 film's known for doing a lot of things right. It's not just a superhero movie, but a tight spy thriller that appeals to fans beyond the Marvel sphere.
Facts. This is just a pine. You can take this movie and just put 2 normal people together. I don't think so. I don't think it works like that. But if you just take this movie and just show it, and if you compare it to all the other movies, it's less about a Marvel movie than it's just been a complete good film. Like this was one of the best Marvel movies I ever seen. But that being said, it was top tier for sure. All of them.
Deals with some heavy themes.
Everything dealing with Winter Soldier was almost top tier.
politics, paranoia, surveillance, and moral struggles. It has a rich emotional thread running all throughout it, courtesy of the relationship between Cap and the Winter Soldier, who happens to be his best bud Bucky Barnes, whom he thought was dead and has now turned up as a conditioned killer and his enemy. The film also boasts some of the most spectacular action set pieces, including an exhilarating car chase and that elevator scene. But it's Steve and Bucky's final fight that makes it.
See, to me, the elevator scene should have been its own singular fight scene, though. I'm thinking that's how I'm thinking that's how it's gonna be, but they obviously had other plans.
To this list, as the two go at each other with guns, knives, and bare fists, it's easily one of the best hand-to-hand combat scenes Marvel has brought to life, and it benefits enormously from the shared history between the two characters and Cap's fight till the very end to bring Bucky back from the brink.
Let me ask y'all this, and I'm gonna stop pausing. But would y'all be able to take punches like that for a friend? Me neither. Me neither. Bang. This is definitely top 2. So that means
Captain America and the Winter Soldier return, this time as a team to take on Iron Man, making this fight our pick for the second spot. The happenings in the Winter Soldier have a massive bearing on Civil War, where Tony Stark...
And then I believe Tony would have won that fight if he wasn't holding back against Cap in the beginning. He gave Cap too much leeway to stop the fight. He should have went on and treated both of them like ops from the very beginning. It would have been a different fight. But he kept trying to be nice. No, fuck that.
Stark's hell-bent on avenging his parents by taking down their killer, who just happens to be the brainwashed bionic soldier. Steve steps in, trying to reason with Stark that it wasn't Bucky's fault and that he was being controlled by Hydra. But Stark is too overwhelmed by his emotions to see reason. All he can think of is revenge. In the confrontation that follows, the war buddies fight with everything they've got to hold back the pissed-off billionaire. The action slowly moves from the usual Marvel optics of big bang explosions and shooting laser beams to an emotionally raw slugfest filmed wonderfully in a tight space. It also presents a glorious poster-worthy moment where the MCU's big two go eyeball to eyeball, but it's the raw emotions involved, Stark's pain and anger, Bucky's guilt, Cap's dilemma, that make this three-way clash such an impactful one. As the film's climax,
I lost a lot of respect for Cap after that fight, though, because it was like you have no understanding about anybody else's feelings but your own. It's like, this person killed my... Of course you don't let him kill him, but fuck that. Get out of the way. You let us figure this out. You don't stand in... Then you held the secret back that they killed my parents. Like, nah, it's up.
Magic action scene, this deeply personal encounter trumps a CGI overrun spectacle any day.
Where the fuck is the Black Panther fight? Where's the Black Panther fight when he fought Bucky on top of the roof? When he fought Clint? When he fought Killmonger? When he fought Killmonger the last time? When they... Man, no. Hell no.
And with that, it's time for the #1 reveal. For this fight, Iron Man teams up with Captain America and Thor to take on Marvel's top antagonist, Thanos. Didn't we say earlier that friendships and hostilities in the MCU rarely stay the same for long? Before 2019's Endgame became the Avengers film that deserved to be retitled The Crying Game, it dished up one of the most powerful superhero tag teams in history, bringing together the God of Thunder, the world's strongest soldier, and the man in the iron suit.
Do you know what's great? They had the nerf tool. They had the nerf Thor for the fight. I ain't like that either.
Who made audiences weep.
They gotta stop the nerfing. Like let them fight. Let them fight. That's the only way we can know who's strong. Stop nerfing.
With a snap of his fingers. Their battle with Thanos is exactly the kind of comic book flash and flare that fans live for. From Thor summoning lightning and hitting a home run to Cap showing us that he's just as useful with a hammer as he is with a shield. This fight is full of rip-roaring, crowd-pleasing moments. And don't we just love them? This battle also shows just how impossibly strong the Mad Titan is as he goes about giving the original Avengers a beating the likes of which they've probably never experienced before. It takes the might of the rest of the Avengers and some supreme sacrifices to settle the score with Thanos once and for all. But while it lasts, the 3 versus 1 fight hits all the right spots. That brings us to the end of today's video on the top 10 most impactful Marvel movie fights. Do you agree with this select?
Oh, they said impactful. I want the best fight scenes. But like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about that top 10. I disagree with it. I feel like it should have been a couple more Black Panthers. It could have been a couple Black Panther, especially over that Thor and Abomination fight. That fight was not top 10 worthy. It wasn't even. It's not even considered Marvel at this point. Like how bad it's disregarded. But if y'all disagree, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think down there in the comments. I disagree with some of them, but other than that, it's your boy Cam, and I'll catch y'all in another video.